Hey, each and everyone, good day to you, or good afternoon. So I did the Divine Locations part one, so I'm about to do part two. So remember that there's going to be a convergence of many things that will be taking place, not just one thing at a time, compared to 2019. There's this time around, there will be many different things, and these things that are about to take place is easy for me to tell you. However, as I said, my job is kind of to give you a timeline as to when these things are about to occur. Now, going through and trying to get that timeline is very difficult for me. So it will take a little while for me to give you that information, as I have to go through a lot of book reading. These are just my notes. I have to go over my notes and trying to get it done. And then I also have to listen to the other videos. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing. So if you don't see me or posting or whatever, that is because I have to go through and pray and ask Yahweh to give me the correct answer as to these times, even though it's right there in front of me. But as I said, that my calendar is extremely complicated. Yahweh speaks very not direct. It's very complicated for me to understand. All right, so so whenever I give you information, it may sound easy, but to get to that point, it's not that easy. All right, so I'm just going to go over quickly all of the towns that that has been selected by Yahuwah. Number one is Montana. In Montana, you have Libby, Eureka, and Troy. Number two is Wyoming. In Wyoming, you have Sheridan, Buffalo, Gillette. All right. So now we go up to. I didn't rewrite this prophecy. I'm going from my notes. I guess I've been a little bit lazy here. So this is my notebook, and then I have my prophecy book. And then I'm going to do Idaho, okay? So now you have another, I'm not so sure if I did Idaho before, but if not, if I did, it's okay. So now you have the Northern Panhandle region, which are you have Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, and then Yahuwah says the outer regions into the mountainous areas. The forest will create a national barrier. And then for this one, it says timing matters here than any other location. I repeat, it says for this location, timing matters. And the reason for that is that Idaho will reach its capacity fastest because it's already known by people who wants distance from governance, distance from government, okay? From government outreach. So by late summer, awareness would have spread enough that land prices will spike sharply. We're not speaking of this summer, we're speaking of next year's summer. So whenever you get this information, remember the information that I'm giving you, not everyone is required and not everyone is going to move. This information that I'm giving you, you would have probably felt it in your spirit that you have to go somewhere, and I'm here just to confirm with you as to the location that you probably Yahuwah has already whispered in your ears, or your spirit is telling you this is where I should go or where I should be. All right, not everyone is going to be required to move, because Yahuwah will need people in certain areas to help the ones who can't move. All right. So timing, this is what, like, time, this one here is like on top of the list because a lot of people is going to be trying to go to this area here, right? Or this state. So you want to go, if you're Joseph and you're being led to go to these areas, you don't want to delay for Idaho, okay? So it says, these three communities are close enough that communities can share resources, information, provide support to each other across distances. Now, I just want to say this before I go on to the next state. From what I maybe observe, I did not look it up. Most of these people, most of these places probably um, are not. Uh, they're not that. I looked up one area and it wasn't that really mixed. It's not that well mixed population wise. So, but wherever where Yahweh is sending you, you should go and take it with force, meaning that you should have no fear if it is a totally Caucasian town or there aren't no African Americans or other group of people living there. You should have no fear because Yahweh sent you there. Not only that, he would have been placing you with people who are friendly. But if there's anyone that comes against you, you don't have to put up a fight with that person. All you have to do is get down on your knees because you know Yahweh sent you there. So have no fear wherever he sends you. Okay? As I said, the weapon will form, but the weapons will come and they will form, but they shall not prosper. So now we go on to the fourth town. We have the North and South Dakotas, right? The North and South Dakota, that is classified as one. So North Dakota is going to be near Montana border, right? Near Montana border. Yahweh gives stuff in parts. So I got this from one person. Excuse me. So there may be, he may give another person more detailed information. I did not get that. There is one part in, I think it's South Dakota, that you should not move to. I will put that in another video. So for South Dakota, you have the Black Hills, an agricultural land that will feed the faithful if they learn to work with the methods that predates industrial dependency, meaning that we're gonna have to go back to a type of farming where we depend upon the animals and literal hands, shovels, hoes, and all of this type of farming. All right. That's the area where you're gonna have a lot of fields, cattle, and range farmland stretching from for every horizon. Okay, so Idaho is going to be your farmland, and this is the area that's going to provide for the other areas like Idaho. Where do I have Idaho, Montana? Because there's the way I understand it that Yahweh sets it up. They're going to be, I have 5 regions here, but for 4 regions you're going to be able to traverse these areas. All right. I don't let me not let this video too long. Now, you're gonna have to learn to pressure food without refrigeration, how to save viable seeds right throughout the winter. You're gonna have to learn to maintain equipment without any parts and supplies and all this stuff. So Yahweh, don't be worried if you're being sent to these areas. Yahweh will provide. You will meet other people there who are going to be doing the same thing like you are doing. All right, you're gonna find other preppers there. For the Dakota, will offer. Dakota is gonna offer offers what the mountains cannot produce. Okay, which is a productive land. So wherever Yahweh sends his people, there is going to be a good land there for you to plant and forget you plenty of water whenever the time comes. So he says that these communities established here will provide the entire northern refuge network, right? When the cities collapse, these cities will provide abundance, agricultural abundance. Now the last one is Hawaii, okay? When the mainland becomes descends into total chaos, enforcement is going to be much harder for places like Hawaii. All right, and then the island creates a form of a barrier for authorities to fully manage. Now, within Hawaii, he gave this one is specifically says not Hoyu, where you have a military installation. Stay away from that. And I think that's in Kauai. or the Big Island. Stay away from wherever they have a military installation in Hawaii. The island that was given is Molokai, and it's Molkii, and I'm also, that was not in my list. He says Mahi also. For those who choose to go to Hawaii, you must have total self-sufficiency, meaning that if you're just gonna go like now, you should totally be self-sufficient. You're gonna have cash money and everything, all right? Enough supplies and knowledge to sustain yourself while you're establishing what you need to do to survive. Okay. The ocean will provide some form of protection, even though it makes it impossible to retreat. Okay, if you commit to the island, you will make it work for you. Okay. And I know Hawaii is somewhat like Jamaica. You can plant your breadfruit, you can plant your bananas, all of these other crops that you could plant. But it's like tiny islands. It's not like big as Jamaica maybe. So those islands are small. Some of them you're gonna have to take boats. Some of them you have to take a plane just to get there. All right. So March. Now these are your timelines. All right. So it says March is given into April, right? So this is when you're gonna start hearing about this thing. This is when you start to, at least for early preppers, this is the time that you should get out. Once you start hearing about it, this is your deadline, March, right? Not absolute deadline, right? Giving way to many, right? To May. So you should get out at least by May, when this stuff is, you can still get out. Because as I said, there's going to be a convergence of things that are going to take in place. So even though you're hearing about these things that's taking place in the news and the media and all around you, it's not going to be full force. So this is your cue that you should put an urgency into getting out before the summer. Now, it will start unfolding in the spring, and then by summer, the collapse will be undeniable, right? To anyone paying attention. Now it says here, the collapse will be undeniable to anyone who's paying attention. Take note of that. So that means that your general population will not be taken by summer, even though it's there, which is next year, guys. Even though it's there, a lot of people will not be paying attention, and therefore, they're not gonna be as to have any clue as to what's going on. But by fall, people are going to be fully noticing it, and by then you're going to have your government starts to kick in. You're going to start having your lockdown, and then your movements, wherever you are, movements is going to become almost impossible for you to travel from, let's say, from Jamaica to the United States, back and forth, or even within the United States itself. As I said, I'm going to keep on using this word convergence of many things that's coming to take place that will hamper you going from point A to point B. As I said, I don't want to mention another convergence here at this moment. The war is one convergence. You're going to have a lot of the price increase in oil. All right. So these are things that you need to be able to be cognizant of. It's not just one thing. This is not just one thing that you'll be running from. So now the way that I don't want to make this video too long. So it comes by winter, it will be impossible for you to travel. Winter will be impossible for you to travel. Get that in your head. Get that registered, okay? By winter, it's going to be impossible for you to travel, as there will be major lockdown. All right. So this I don't know if I should give people this time that I always spend. So yeah, so when you speak, people speaking of the rapture comes in many shapes and forms. Rapture could mean that's absolutely death. And back before the flood, I may cut this shortly, okay? Before the flood, a lot of people passed on before Yahweh did not want them to experience it. So guys, these are just the information. I don't want to be longer and this thing any longer than at this moment. My name is Aurel Campbell, a teacher, a prophet, and interpreter of dreams, sent to Yahuwah, sent to his people, the 12 tribes of Israel, right throughout the entire world. Remember, even though I'm giving you the safe cities inside of America, these are divine locations. And one thing that if you're in any other parts of the world, you should pray to Yahuwah as to where you would go. He will guide you and give you those areas as to where you will go. Remember, Yahuwah's people, a large percentage of them, the 12 tribes of Israel, whomever they are inside of America. America is Mr. Babylon, and Mr. Babylon cannot go down before he takes care of his people. Hence, he has sent me to his people for you to take heed as to what is to come. Remember, if there's a hurricane in the news, you want to know where the hurricane is going to land. All right, and I know people are going to come and say fear mongering, but I'm sure if they say it's going to be a flooding in the news, you listen to your news. If there's going to be a flooding, if there's going to be a hurricane, if there's going to be a tornado, you're going to be listening to make sure that you don't walk in that path. So this is not fear mongering. This is time for preparation in advance, so you don't run out to the store in the last minute trying to, when you put 1 and 2 together, trying to get stuff back then, get stuff into your house or get stuff for your family. So please, guys, thank you for listening. And I know very few people listen to the end, but I don't want to continue this any longer. So really, thank you for everything at this moment.